So this is running. We're not going to show you what it looks like to run because you know how to run, but there's some variations that you can do should you not be able to run outside. We've got running in place or jogging in place, which is basically the same thing. Work those hands, look nice and silly. It's okay, you're in your garage, life is good. We also have mountain climbers, and there's two variations you can do here. You kick out to a push-up position, and you're looking to basically bring your knee up and then push it back. Now this way, you just bring the knee up and then fire it right back. This is a little bit more windy and a good scale. This one involves a little bit more of a groin stretch where basically the foot gets about in line with the palm of the hand. Either one is totally legit to do. Just pick one for the workout and stick with it, whatever, or warm up and stick with it, okay? So that's our mountain climber. We also have high knees. High knees is basically running in place, but you wanna bring your knees up a bit higher. So it's not how you'd actually run. It requires a little bit more of a pull and gets you a little bit more tired and breathing nice and hard. The other one would be fast feet. Fast feet is just picking a spot on the ground and look to switch your feet and touch your toe to that spot. You can do this on top of a plate where you're tapping your toes on top of a plate. We didn't have a plate out. We didn't need to show you that. It looks fine with just a spot on the ground. Another one is going to be rowing, so hopping on a rower and rowing, or assault biking, or any sort of other nice expensive gadget you have in your garage. The other one would be single jumps, like with a jump rope, getting up there and just doing single jumps to get your feet going. That is our subs for running. So this is a ring row and a couple scales that we can do in as well. Ring row is an awesome movement, but basically you look to get either one ring or two rings. You lie back to where your arms are straight and your body is nice and straight as well. So this would be a sagging hip. You want your body straight. Then you pull your chest up till it hits the rings, and you come back down. To make this harder, you walk your feet this way. To make it easier, you walk your feet this way. This is a ring row. You can also do a jumping pull-up, which is basically holding onto the bar up there. You jump, pull your chin over, come back down. You can also do an upright row with a set of dumbbells. So if all you had was a set of dumbbells, you could hold it here, keep the shoulder open, upright row, come back down. So you can do it one arm, or you can do it two arms, or you can alternate, it's up to you. But that's an upright row. And the ring row, and a couple other scales. This is a bent over row, and there's a number of ways we can do this. You can do it with your legs, even with each other, and just bend over and hinge at the waist. Go in one arm and just pull this up to the torso there. Or you can do this where you take kind of a lunge stance, kind of athletic, put the hand on your leg to support yourself and pull it up all the way into the chest there. Or you can put your hand on a bench and you can pretend that you're out on a bench here like this, lounging, put your knee up, put your hand up, and get the row in like that. Super gangster style. Whatever you gotta do, we're looking to get the body as flat as possible and pull all the way to it. Try not to let too much twisting happen. It's not like a body twist going on in there. And also as you're doing anything, keeping that back nice and flat. Try not to round out, make it like a weird monkey bent over row thing. Bent over row, not bent over monkey grabs coconut through hole. Bent over row. So this is a push-up and the different variations of a push-up. Basically, you're gonna look to get your body out nice and flat. Good, pretty plank here. You go all the way down to your chest touches the ground, and you press all the way back up to your elbow locks out. Rather than shortening up the range of the push-up, so don't do a half push-up, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna go to your knees. You do a push-up where you go to your knees, touch your chest to the ground, come back up. So you make it a little bit easier with where you're holding. Another thing you can do is you can elevate that. You can even go on your knees and elevate it. So go over, she'll show you on the box here. So basically go on your knees, elevate it up, go down till you touch your chest. But the same thing applies. We want the same range of motion. Chest touches the object, elbows lock out at the top. That's our push-up and some variations. This is a chest to bar pull-up, and a chest to bar pull-up is simply touching your chest to the bar on a pull-up. So you have the bar up here, you can't really see it. So if I do a pull-up, my chest hits the bar, come back down. You guys get the idea. The main thing that I wanted to point out with that was a scale that you could do, which would be 2 jumping chest to bar pull-ups. So jump up, touch your chest to the bar, come back down, as well as 2 dumbbell curls. So you do the 2 jumping chest to bar pull-ups, where you get a nice object there, and then you give 2 dumbbell curls afterwards. Ideally with the dumbbells on both sides. Choose an appropriate load for that, and you can always use small plates to do it, but something that gets you a jumping pull-up and then 2 curls. Simulate that chest to bar just a little. So this is an air squat, one of the movements you'll find yourself doing a whole bunch, but we've got a couple things to look at. First, we got the stance. Stance is gonna be about a shoulder width stance, so your heels are in line with your shoulders. The toes are gonna be slightly pointed out, depending on your level of flexibility. You might be able to turn them in a bit, but just slightly out. The weight's gonna be balanced about the foot, not too far back in the heel, not in the toe, more midfoot. And the idea here is you send your butt back and down and go all the way down till your hip is clearly below your knee. Looks like this, back and down, till when you look down at this, and Cheryl's little tiny short legs here, your hip is clearly below the knee, okay? Now stand on back up. Standards are important. They're important for life. They're also important for movement. So make sure you're trying to do your very best, if you can move pain-free, to keep that weight back and down and keep going all the way down until the hip crease is clearly below the knee. Another thing to look at in the squat is making sure we're not going way up into our toes or anything crazy like that. It's just staying back in those heels, flat-footed, and going all the way down. Now another thing is stand all the way up at the top. So this is all the way up. Show me not all the way up, which is kind of bent. Nice, okay. That's not all the way up. Try to stand all the way up at the top. If you need to feel what that feels like, just go ahead and squeeze your butt, not with your hand, but with your actual butt muscles, and that'll help you feel that top position. And that's what we got. That is the air squat. So this is jump rope, and it's various scales that we can do and various things you can do with the jump rope. So we've got single unders, which just looks like this, where you're jumping in place, feet are hitting the ground at the same time. We've got the running in place, which is your alternating feet as you go here. We've got where you're splitting the feet. We've got where you're splitting the feet in and out. That was hard, obviously. A little bit more difficult than you might think. There we go. We've got double unders now. Double unders are where the rope goes over 2 times. Poo-poo, poo-poo, poo-poo. Go ahead and relax. Now, I'm not gonna have her demonstrate this, but we also have triple unders where the rope goes under 3 times. No need to demonstrate that one. Now, all of these can be done without a rope, so you can just mimic having your hands at your sides. And another thing you can do is if double unders come up and you don't have them, you can practice the double pat at your sides. So you can jump and do a double little pat at your sides there. You can practice single unders like this too. Singles where you jump and then the hands tap once, and a double is where you jump a little higher and the hands tap twice. Once you get that, you can start building in the coordination with the actual rope. Those are our double unders and our scales. Oh, one last scale, fast feet. Fast feet are basically you get a plate and you switch back and forth with your feet on the plate or the dumbbell touching something or a line or whatever it may be there.